Wisdom destroys greed and betrayal. What if every betrayal you plan only sets a trap for yourself? What if true wealth lies not in what you store, but in what you stand for? And what if wisdom, quiet and patient, always has the last word? Long ago, in a sun-baked land ruled by seasons and sweat, there lived a powerful landlord named Virendra. He owned everything the eye could see: endless fields that shimmered in the summer heat, rows of crops that fed entire markets, and hundreds of laborers whose backs bent daily under the weight of his ambition. But with all his riches, Virendra's hunger remained unquenched. His heart, swollen with greed, whispered to him in the shadows, "More, always more." One year, after a particularly abundant harvest, Virendra had an idea. Not a noble one, a cunning one. If famine ever strikes, he thought, I shall sell this grain at sky-high prices. While others starve, I will grow richer than kings. And so, he summoned a mason, not just any mason, but the most skilled builder in the land. Arjun was humble, quiet, but he was a master of his craft, known for building structures so hidden they vanished into the earth itself. When Arjun arrived, Virendra gave his instructions plainly, without shame. Build me an underground granary hidden beneath the fields. No one must know, not my workers, not my family, just you and me. Do this well, and I shall reward you handsomely. Arjun bowed in silence. He had heard promises like this before. For 6 long months, Arjun worked beneath the soil. He carved a false rock to hide the entrance. He shaped a winding staircase that led down into a cool chamber, reinforced by stone and silence. It was invisible to the world, a vault of greed, buried beneath a field of grain. But Arjun, though quiet, was not naive. He had seen men like Virendra before, men whose loyalty was tied to coins and whose gratitude vanished the moment their needs were met. So, in secret, Arjun built something else, a narrow escape tunnel, winding away from the granary, hidden near a dry riverbed. If treachery comes, he thought, let me not be caught without a path. When the chamber was finally complete, Virendra descended into it with wide eyes and a crooked smile. It was perfect. That very week, he ordered hundreds of sacks of grain to be stored within, enough to feed a kingdom, or to starve one for profit. But as the last sack settled into place, another voice, darker than the first, whispered in his heart, why share the secret? Why pay the mason? Once he's gone, the treasure is mine alone. And so, the very next morning, Virendra approached the village guards, men he had bought 100 times before, and accused Arjun of treason. He has stolen royal secrets. He lied. Arrest him. The guards obeyed. Arjun was thrown into a dark cell, but he did not scream. He did not beg. He sat with the stillness of someone who had seen this moment coming. That evening, Arjun made one request. I ask for no mercy, he said, his voice like river stones, soft but unshakable, but grant me one kindness. Allow me to send a final letter to my family. Let them know I am alive, so their hearts may rest even if mine cannot. Moved by the calm in his eyes, the guard agreed. Through a trusted friend, the letter reached its destination. Inside it, simple instructions, a map, a whisper. The next morning, before the sun had fully risen, Virendra walked to his granary, ready to gloat, to admire his secret fortune. But when he arrived, his heart stopped. The chamber was empty, every single sack gone. He roared like thunder. He raced to Arjun's cell. How did you? Where is it? You'll never see daylight again. But Arjun only smiled. The kind of smile that comes from knowing you've won a battle without lifting a weapon. If you harm me, he said quietly, you'll never see your grain again. But let me walk away, freely, and it shall be returned, minus a small price. For my labor, and for your betrayal. Virendra burned with rage, but rage could not feed him. Rage could not rebuild what had vanished. And so, trembling with fury but cornered by wisdom, he agreed. Arjun left the village that day, not in chains, but with dignity. A week passed, then came the ox carts. One after another they rolled toward Virendra's estate, each one carrying sacks of grain, perfectly preserved. Atop them sat a folded note, sealed with wax. It read, to landlord Virendra, here is your treasure, returned as promised. 2 cartloads I have kept, one for the sweat of my work, another for the wound of your betrayal. Let this grain remind you, no wealth built on deceit ever truly belongs to you. And so, the landlord who tried to hoard the world's riches sat alone in a house full of silence. He still had lands, he still had titles, but the one thing he could never buy again was trust. He had betrayed a man who only gave, and in doing so he had lost something greater than gold. Moral of the story, greed may win for a day, betrayal may seem clever for a season, but wisdom, quiet, prepared, and rooted in truth outlasts them both. True wealth isn't what you store, it's what you earn with honor, what you build without deceit, what you protect without crushing others. The greedy may gather treasures, but only the wise sleep in peace. If this story moved something in you, if it reminded you of the value of integrity, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Whispers Within. Because here, we believe that stories aren't just told, they are lived. And somewhere, someone you know might be walking into a trap they set for someone else. Send them this story, and remind them, the only treasure that lasts is the one built with wisdom.